Hi guys, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 for GrinderSchool.com. Our executives wanted me to start off the episode this week. You mean you want to start off the episode this week? Okay, I want to start off the episode this week. Whatever. I want to start off by reiterating the special offer that we announced last week. For anyone who mentions YouTube or PokerTube in the referral field when signing up for Grinder School, you get $5 off. It'll be sent back to you at the end of the month, so go for it. Yay, money to you. Alright, with that, I want to go ahead and get into what we're covering today. I say what we're covering. I'm not really covering anything this week. I know that, the people who think of me as a poker god, basically no one thinks of you as a poker god. You know that, right? Yeah, I'd even say that, demigod is a bit of a stretch. Okay, moving on. What I wanted to say is that I'm not skilled in every single format of poker that exists. Namely, one of the big holes in my game is heads-up cash. So I don't instruct heads-up cash at Grinder School. I won't until I have a solid win rate. But we have someone who does. We'll be seeing a video from him this week. It will be Jeff, CodeRed Rules Lipsy. He's going to be going through talking about a hand where he makes a relatively loose call down. With that, let's dig in.
Hey everyone, this is CodeRed Rules from GrinderSchool.com, and today I'm going to go over a loose call that I made on the river. Today I am in the big blind. We're playing heads up against a typical loose aggressive opponent here on the button, and I'm going to go through why I made the call that I did. So he goes ahead and he makes a standard min raise, and I flat call the blind with pocket sixes. I'm calling here with a pretty wide range pre-flop, especially when it's just a min raise, and sixes fare pretty well against whatever he's opening with. Not too happy to see this flop, to be honest, and I'm probably not going to be bluffing at it too much. If he does decide to c-bet it, I probably will call at this point in the match. He had been continuation betting fairly frequently, and which is pretty standard for what a loose aggressive player would kind of continuation bet. I believe at the time he was 2 for 2. If you go ahead and look up the pop-up stats here, which is Hold'em Manager, you can see that his continuation bet stats is actually only 4 of 9. So after this hand, he really slowed down because he was 2 for 2 before this hand, and now he, after that, he went 2 for 7 in continuation bets. So early in the match, I went based on a read that he was continuation betting most hands, and when you do that when you see somebody check behind, I go ahead and I check to him, and he checks behind. That usually means that he doesn't have an ace of any kind, because on this kind of a board, most players are going to be correctly betting most aces, because I can call with a lot of marginal hands here, expecting him to represent the ace and also be bluffing a lot of hands. So when he does check behind here, I feel like he's either got air and he's giving up the turn, or he's got some kind of marginal showdownable hand, of which he's going to be calling a turn bet with. One thing that he probably doesn't have is the flush draw, because a lot of players, if they're c-betting a lot in the flop, they're also going to be c-betting the flush draw in order to build the pot. Correctly c-betting the flop, I believe. So I decided to go ahead and value bet this 3. A lot of players maybe consider this a bluff. I feel like he's going to be calling me a lot in this turn with a lot of marginal hands that he check behind the flop with you. Whether it's either 4x or 3x, he's going to have, you could even be having a 2 some of the time, a spade draw, and also weak 8s. That's really the only hand that I'm afraid of right now is a weak 8 that I'm behind to. And he goes ahead and calls, and since he didn't raise, he probably doesn't have a nut straight or a set or anything, because this is kind of board where somebody would raise a set on this turn because it's so dry and not wanting to slow play. The river doesn't look like a very good card for me at all, and depending on what kind of play I should make, maybe we should fold, maybe we should bet. I decided to go ahead and check. I don't feel like I have that much value in betting anymore. I feel like that if he does bet, though, it's probably going to be it's going to depend on the bet size that he's going to make. So I check, and as you can see, he full pots it out at me, and this is the point where it really doesn't make any sense, and where a lot of players go wrong is when they make this polarizing bet size. A polarizing bet size on the river is just a bet size that you're really not representing much other than the absolute nuts. And we already said before, it's very unlikely for him to have a flush draw on this flop because he checked behind. And so he's presenting a flush. Now, if he had a straight, maybe you could argue that he's doing this with a straight with either a 2 or 7-6. Um, it's pretty unlikely that he's actually going to call the turn with a bear 2 unless he had a pair to go with it. It's also pretty unlikely that he's going to bet out so much with a 2, because with his bet size, it's looking like he's either trying to get a lot of value from me that he maybe missed earlier in the hand, or just a complete bluff, whatever he has, that maybe like a missed spade draw. So I go ahead and I said look him up here, and my read is confirmed that he did in fact have king queen, two red cards, a king and a queen. And his turn call actually isn't that bad. If you guys think that it's going to be a bad turn call, I'm going to be bluffing a lot of that turn too, so he can call. And he did have 6 outs to draw to too, so he did have some good equity. So otherwise, guys, hopefully this has been informative for you. This has been CodeRed Rules, and see you guys next time.
And we're back. Okay, so Jeff didn't quite have the powerhouse hand that you'd have if you got 666 with the power of Satan. How can you lose a hand? But he did demonstrate an important concept, and that's how much money you can really make from people who are going to make excessively large bets with weak hands. People who are too aggressive, too bluff happy. They'll go crazy, and you can really profit from them. Hopefully everyone learned something from the hand today, and that's basically all I have this week. Cheers, and hopefully I'll see you around Grinder School. See you next time.